After old Laurio spoke, all the Wendigos growled. The Sigbins howled as they slowly approached him. Realizing that old Laurio had nowhere to retreat, the Wendigos rushed at him with full force. Although countless demons were approaching him, he remained calm, thinking about his next move. As they drew near, old Laurio suddenly vanished into thin air, terrifying them. They knew only high-level skinwalkers could perform such abilities, so they carefully scanned the area. Minutes passed, and to their shock, they saw old Laurio on top of their hut, his eyes glowing, surrounded by sand as black as coal. When a Sigbin lunged at him, he grabbed its neck and slowly snapped it. "Don't tell me this is all you can do. I've heard your kind are worse than demons when it comes to slaughtering humans," old Laurio said. Upon hearing this, the Wendigos lost their strength to respond, their bodies trembling with fear. "Who are you? Why do you possess the abilities of a skinwalker?" asked an old Wendigo. "You're in no position to question me. If I were you, I'd surrender quietly and offer your lives to me," replied old Laurio. Hearing this, the creatures growled again, trying to muster their courage. Soon, old Laurio noticed them preparing to attack him. Several Sigbins guarded the area to ensure he couldn't escape. Realizing the Wendigos wouldn't surrender, old Laurio decided to end the battle. He vanished again and reappeared in front of the old Wendigo, stabbing it mercilessly with his sharp claws. He not satisfied, he bit its neck, severing its head from its body. Seeing this, the other Wendigos cried out, charging at him thoughtlessly. Their actions fueled old Laurio's rage, leading him to annihilate their entire race. He left no one alive, sparing no one. Afterward, he dug a deep grave for the bodies and burned their hut to erase any traces. Satisfied with his work, he decided to return to his village to check on his wife. He felt somewhat at ease, knowing he left his Sigbin to guard her. Before heading home, he decided to visit the kingdom of the giant tree monster who granted him his powers. With his incredible speed, old Laurio reached the kingdom quickly, swinging from trees and walking on leaves. Upon arrival, he saw the creature surrounded by 7 fires. Old Laurio knew these fires symbolized the 7 dimensions where his other emissaries resided. He communicated with them every Thursday and Saturday nights. At midnight, the giant tree monster approached old Laurio. "What do you need, Laurio?" it asked. "I just have a question. In our agreement, it doesn't say I can't kill other demons, right?" "Yes, but there's a limit. If you encounter a race guided by a demon, you can't kill them," replied the creature. It warned that if old Laurio disobeyed, he would face severe punishment, possibly affecting his child, wife, or even himself. "So be careful with your decisions, Laurio. I'm always watching you. Don't try to deceive me, you won't succeed," the demon said. Hearing this, old Laurio left the place. Returning to his village, he noticed many people still guarding Maestro Pedrito's house. Observing them, he overheard their plans, confirming the healers had sinister intentions. Realizing he needed to prepare for unexpected events, old Laurio returned home to rest. The next morning, he was overjoyed to see his son Jude in good condition, easing his mind. Later that afternoon, while busy with his work, 3 men from the clearing arrived, bringing sweet potatoes and a bundle of meat. "Good afternoon, old Laurio," one man cheerfully greeted. "Good afternoon. You didn't have to bother," old Laurio replied. After chatting, the men entered his yard but not his house, as his family was inside. "Old Laurio, we're here to inform you about the upcoming gathering of our kind. It will be in our village, so expect visitors tonight or tomorrow," one man said. "All right, but tell everyone not to harm our fellow villagers," old Laurio replied. The men nodded and left. Unknown to old Laurio, someone witnessed the events he was involved in. Seeing someone nearby, he realized it was one of Master Pedrito's disciples. When their eyes met, the healer quickly ran to his master's house. Knowing he was exposed, old Laurio decided to let fate take its course. Moments later, he saw Master Pedrito's group approaching his home. He met them outside to avoid alarming his wife. "What do you need?" Old Laurio asked. "What do we need, Laurio? Don't you recognize the 3 men you spoke with? Didn't you sense their presence?" Master Pedrito angrily replied. Old Laurio, realizing he was caught, was stunned by his response. "So what if they're Wendigos?" "It's none of your business, Pedrito. Remember, I'm not your disciple. I can bite you if I want," Old Laurio said, slowly putting on his medallion. Hearing this, the healers stepped back. Master Pedrito, unable to control his anger, grabbed a small stick from his back, whispered a prayer, and struck Old Laurio with it. Before we continue the story, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click the bell icon as well. Your support means a lot to us. Thank you, and now let's get back to the story. However, when it touched his body, the herbalists present were shocked to see that nothing unusual happened to him. Moments later, Old Laurio suddenly laughed while saying, "What do you think I am? A demon?" "Don't treat me like that, Pedrito. It's not funny. Leave now. Worry about your own lives." After speaking, Old Laurio immediately turned his back on the herbalists. As he continued to walk away, he was confident that Master Pedrito's group didn't think ill of him because he had managed to accept the stick filled with prayers against the beings on the dark side. That evening, Old Laurio kept a vigilant watch around the area. He was attuned to the wind and the presences entering or leaving their village. According to Old Laurio, such abilities of a Skinwalker were rarely used because they required intense training. When a Skinwalker gains such an ability, they can monitor all their potential victims, even from kilometers away. They will also sense the dangers in the places they intend to visit. As the night deepened, Old Laurio felt the presence of beings entering their village. These beings went straight to the homes of 3 men, so he let them be. Over the next 3 days, more of them arrived in their village. He knew the herbalists had detected them, so he intensified his warnings to them. They needed to stay in one place to avoid encountering the herbalists' group. It would be dangerous for them since Master Pedrito's teachings were profound. That night, their gathering began. Old Laurio was late because his wife had given him many tasks. When he arrived, he saw several wealthy families from other villages. "Good evening, Old Laurio. We're glad you could attend," greeted one guest. Old Laurio only responded with a smile. As he continued walking, almost everyone there looked at him because he was accompanied by a sigbin, which was new to their eyes. A few minutes later, Old Laurio reached his friends, who quickly let him in so the meeting of the leaders could begin. This took place inside a hut, witnessed and heard by only a few. According to Old Laurio, the guests he spoke with led the neighboring villages. They were the leaders of different Skinwalker clans. "My friends, I formally introduce the leader of our place. He is Old Laurio, a Skinwalker who is also half herbalist," said the man. With that, he calmly sat down. He closely observed the guests while sensing their presence. As their discussion began, some of them stated the laws they needed to follow to avoid a war with the herbalists and charmers. Old Laurio did not object, knowing it was necessary to live peacefully. Some leader presented their laws regarding the killing of entire families of ordinary people. "Does anyone oppose the law I presented?" asked one leader. Old Laurio remained observant. Seeing no objections, he raised his hand to give his opinion on the matter. "We don't need to kill an entire family for one night's feast. We must also consider the lives of the ordinary people we are killing, said old Laurio. And who are you to propose laws for us to follow? Have you proven anything? The leader in your name is just a mere tag, responded the man. Hearing this, old Laurio's temper flared. Without hesitation, he stood up and challenged the man. The hut nearly descended into chaos as the leaders there took sides. Moments later, everything fell silent when they heard the challenge to a duel. They knew it was the only way to determine who would prevail between the two. Before midnight, old Laurio remained observant, not muttering any prayers on his body, unlike his opponent. Those who saw what he was doing doubted his abilities. Old Laurio, are you sure you don't need prayers? Just a reminder, your opponent won't show mercy once you're weakened. This duel is to the death, warned a friend. Don't worry. Nothing bad will happen to me. I sense his weakness. He doesn't stand a chance against me, old Laurio replied. Minutes later, the much-awaited duel began. It took place in a distant part of their village to prevent interference. As old Laurio faced his opponent, he realized it was a flying skinwalker. According to him, such creatures were extremely greedy for human flesh, killing people daily to satiate their hunger. Seeing this, old Laurio's desire to eradicate their kind intensified. Moments later, he slowly donned his medallion to prepare for the upcoming battle. His sigbin howled to show its excitement at seeing its master's form. When the crowd saw old Laurio's true form, they were amazed and terrified. Some leaders, knowing his lineage, spread rumors that old Laurio might be the new envoy of the demon. Minutes later, the duel began in earnest. His opponent immediately attacked with full force, relentlessly trying to end the fight quickly. Old Laurio allowed this, wanting to gauge his opponent's hidden abilities. He also avoided using speed to make the fight fair. When he saw his opponent's attack, he blocked it with his body. As it pierced his skin, it quickly exited from the back, shocking everyone there. Moments later, the flying skinwalker laughed, saying, "That's what happens to demons who are too confident in their abilities." Die, worthless skinwalker. Is that all you've got? If that's it, you have no right to call yourself a leader. Old Laurio retorted, slowly glaring at his opponent. Seeing the body impaled by his claw, his opponent was shocked. In front of him was a banana trunk that old Laurio used as a decoy. His opponent struggled to remove his claw, giving old Laurio a chance to make his first attack. With one punch, the skinwalker fell to the ground, causing his spirit to leave his body. Did you enjoy our story today? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you can stay updated with our future episodes about Laurio, the skinwalker favored by the demonic giant tree. That's all for now. See you in the next episode. Goodbye.